What is up, you of the tube, or tube of the tube, rather. Listen, in today's video, we're going to be covering print on demand. Should you get into it? Is it a good business model? How can you actually utilize it? And what are its strengths and what are its weaknesses? Okay, so I mean, all the Facebook groups, I'm sure as many of you who are looking into print on demand space, it's probably how you found this video. If you're on the Facebook groups and all the POD stuff online on YouTube, I see, like I am, you probably see the same exact questions or have the same questions many other people that are entering into this business model have. So in today's video, I really want to cover the pros and cons of the print on demand business model. Okay, there are some great pros to it. There's some also great cons to it, but the cons you can really kind of grow out of if you properly structure your print on demand business. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into this video. If you're new here, my name is Opie. I'm an e-commerce growth specialist based out of Los Angeles, and on this channel, I'm going to give you tips, tricks, and tools to help scale your e-commerce store, whether you're in the print on demand space, the apparel space, any physical good, or selling info. What you will learn on this channel will definitely help you grow your revenues in the future. So first up, print on demand. What is the most important element of starting your print on demand journey? It's your niche, baby. Your niche, your niche, however you want to say it. Listen, there are people that enter this journey and they think that, oh, I'm going to sell national parks t-shirts. You know who else did that? This guy. I'm going to get into the dog niche, right? People love dogs. This guy. Right? I'm going to get into outdoor sports. I'm going to sell stuff for motocross and mountain biking and cycling and kayaking and stand-up paddleboarding and skydiving. Right? Sound familiar? I mean, many times when you enter into a business like this, the first thing that comes to mind is all those things that you might be into, all those passion projects that you might have. But I can tell you that when it comes to your niche selection, don't do national parks, all of them. Don't do state parks. Don't do just outdoor activities or too broad of a subject like dogs, right? I can tell you right now that there are dog niche stores out there on print on demand that are selling to one specific breed only. And that's the way to really approach your niche selection. You want to get micro niche down. You can never get too small. I guess you can get too small, but in most models and most niches, you can't get too small. Okay, so when it comes to this business model, it is very important to pick a niche that you are passionate about, because when you're trying to talk to a customer that, let's say, wants to buy a Boston Terrier t-shirt, okay, if you've never owned a Boston Terrier, you've never babysat a Boston Terrier, you never walked a Boston Terrier, you don't know the things that only Boston Terrier owners know, okay? That's kind of like the language, okay? So if I'm on this channel and I'm talking about skiing, I lived in Florida, now I live in Southern California. I don't know a damn thing about skiing. I don't know the terminology. I don't know the fashion trends. I don't know Black Diamond, Bunny Hills. I don't know any of that stuff, okay? So when you're talking to your audience, it's very, very important to use the same language, because what you're doing here within this niche is you're trying to build a tribe of people just like you. Building your tribe, building your following, building your loyalists. People don't want someone selling them something that doesn't feel genuine to the actual niche, okay? So if someone's trying to sell me Bibles door to door and they're an atheist, there's going to be some terminology there and there's going to be some barriers when it comes to terminology used, the language in general, the general feeling you get from that person. It's not going to align with a true believer or someone in a certain niche, right? So again, if I try to start a motocross t-shirt company and I don't know what brat means, right? I'm going to look like an idiot because I don't know, how to talk in a language that person is attracted to, if that makes sense, okay? So again, if you're trying to sell dog t-shirts and you know nothing about a Chihuahua, you can't speak to that Chihuahua owner in the same way, in the same passion that they have for their animal, because you just don't know those things. So I highly suggest, when it comes to a niche, rule number one, niche down. Don't go too broad. If you're picking national parks, pick one national park. Which national park do you love? Why do you love it? There's 1,000 different locations in a national park, hidden treasures that you can speak on because you've been there so many times. Focus on one specific thing first. If you're into the outdoor space, let's say you like kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, and canoeing, right? Those are 3 very different activities, and they, oftentimes don't cross over as much as you think when it comes to truly passionate people. Okay, we're looking for a micro niche that is truly passionate about one thing that you have to offer. All right, so don't go too broad. You want to niche down and continue down that vertical, because that way, if you're selling, let's just say you open up a dog niche store, right? And you find one winning product for Boston Terriers, and you have 49 other breeds on your website. I can't come back and buy something again because I only have a Boston Terrier. I'm only passionate about a Boston Terrier. If you sell 50 national parks, t-shirts, only one of each, and I've only been to Yosemite or I've only been to Zion, I can only buy one thing from your store until I take a year, every 2 years, go and visit a new one. Then I can come back and buy, but you're looking to increase the frequency at which someone purchases, and that's what's considered your lifetime value of a customer. So niching down helps extend the lifetime value and also the frequency that they'll come back and purchase from you. So we're gonna break down a few stores here, and they go into a niche very, very well, all right? So let me pull up this screen right here. That's not it. There it is. All right. So here we go. This is House of Chingazos. Now, I came across this brand when I was on Shopify, looking at the Shopify marketplace. It's where you go to buy stores, essentially. And I found this company, and they were doing, I believe it was like $200,000 to $300,000 a month at the time when they posted the listing. Now, this is a print-on-demand store. They're still using print-on-demand. I've reached out to the owner here, so I have a little bit of background on this brand that you wouldn't see. But they're doing great. They have massive sales, and you see here, House of Chingazos is who do you think this is for by looking at this? Right? What do you think? El Jefe, La Jefe, Del Jefe, right? Let's go to the About Us section real quick. Abuelita approved, celebrating La Raza y Nuestra. I don't speak Spanish, right? This is obviously for a Latin market. It might even be a sub-niche of the Latin market, which could be Mexican, it could be Cubans, it could be, I'm probably botching this, right? But you get the idea. They're very catered to one specific person that has passion-driven emotion behind the product that they're offering. So if we go into their shop, and let's just check out bestsellers here. El Jefe is grilling, House of Chingazos, right? It's very much inspired by the Latino, the fonts are very Latino, the skulls, the sombrero over here. No beer, no work, right? Like, it's very much catered to one specific audience, right? This is like the Mexican rugs that you see with the American flag on it, right? Again, they're selling to one specific audience, and this is what you want to do, because if I buy a shirt and the quality is good, and then I see something else come out that I like, there's a highly likelihood of me going back, or a high probability of me coming back to the store and buying again in the future. So this is why it's just super important to niche down. I cannot express this enough, okay? So check out some of these stores. Again, print on demand model, relax Karen, I'm legal. That's hilarious, okay? And these obviously are a lot of mock-ups on these shirts, okay? So you don't need to have a lot of branding when it comes to your collection pages, right? All we're looking for here is the design on a t-shirt, which really sells it. This doesn't even have any lifestyle photos attached to the product page. Okay, so we'll get to that when we talk about branding. But this is, again, this niche right here, these photos, the people in the photos, right? They're giving off that sense that they're probably got some Latin or some Latino or Latina in them, right? All right, another great brand to kind of look at and model is Wicked Clothes, okay? So right here, you'll see who is this brand for? What is this brand all about? Goth meets dad jokes. A little funny, a little scary. Let's find your new favorite t-shirt. Okay, again, look at the image that I'm seeing. I'm seeing a very alternative lifestyle. We got tattoos, we got short hair, we got earplugs, we got nose rings, lip rings, right? Everyone's wearing black t-shirts. There's a skeleton right there, obviously. Again, this is catered to one specific audience, okay? So they have different themes built in here. Excuse me. They have different themes built in here, right? But it's all very much the same artistically, okay? So like this shirt, the artwork is very similar. So if you're into like the comic book horror, kind of spooky vibes, gothic vibes, alternative vibes, death metal band vibes, this is probably a store for you. Making your life a living hell since 2010. 80,000 cult members, free returns and exchanges, established in 2010. Okay, they're building a bunch of trust right here. This is kind of like the devil's hotline video. Go to this website and check this out. Okay, this is amazing. But again, they're niching down to very specific people. And a lot of these people in this community, they own a lot of cats too. So it doesn't surprise me that they have a lot of cat inspired. They even have their own cat collection. Okay. Again, if you're in this audience, you know that they like tattoos, they like piercings, they like cats, they like heavy metal, they like death metal, they like, whatever it might be. I don't know this audience as well as someone who's in this audience knows it. So the person behind this brand clearly knows who they're talking to, how to speak with them, because they are this customer avatar. And the avatar is essentially who you're marketing to, who's this product for. Make it very specific and talk to them not only with the creatives that you're putting out there and the designs you're making, but put it in there put it out there that you're speaking their language. So like the different slang terms that they use for this, I'm not going to resonate with because I'm not in this audience. But guess what? It's not for me. It's just for them. And then look at these designs. They're not something that's just a stupid logo or a stupid terminology on a page or on a t-shirt. And like these are very, very great designs, high quality. And again, this site just kind of blows me away when it comes to branding. And then look at these customer photos right here, right? Tattoos, piercings, colored hair. It's just a wide variety of, this look right here. Like it's just, again, they're not going for mass appeal. My dad would probably buy this brand. My mom would definitely not buy this brand. They're divorced. Go figure. But you know what I'm saying? Like you got to really, when I say niche down, you want people that are buying your product to represent everyone else who wants to buy the product, who might have interest in the product. So when I come here and I look like the people that have bought previously or are in the photo shoot, I can literally see, oh, do I fit in with this crowd? Would I sit on this couch with these people or would I not, right? And what kind of conversation could you have with someone on this couch, right? I might be able to sit down there and talk about tattoos and talk about music or some other, different interests, but like there's definitely a little bit difference between what I look like and what the people on this website look like. So it's very important, again, be in your niche, live, breathe, speak the language of the niche that you select, okay? Here's another one, Aspen and Company. Again, this is apparel for a specific niche. They're selling stuff to children and parents with children, right? So Top Dad, Top Mom, Maverick Goose. These are $32 a piece. What's that average order value? 64 plus that, 128? $128 average order value if you buy for a family of 4, right? Versus your one t-shirt for one person, for one theme park, or for one national park, or for one outdoor activity, right? Versus literally 4 shirts for a family of 4, right? So you have to think about things like this when it comes to your average order value, how many things that they can buy at one time, will they come back and buy in the future when you release new designs? Now, obviously, they're going into the Halloween season here, so you got the Halloween inspired stuff down here. This company a few years ago were really nothing. The Girl Dad was our first best-selling t-shirt. Again, this thing blew up. Now they're making all these other shirts, Biggie Smalls, 90s babies. These are the kids. I grew up listening to Biggie, my daughter's 7 months old, right? Like they know who their audience is. These are probably parents in their 30s that have created this brand, okay? So again, this brand got so big that they now have a licensing deal with Disney. They started off with print on demand. They ended up buying their own warehouse to do it all in-house, right? But this is what I'm talking about. If you're some single dude in his 20s trying to get laid at a nightclub, you're not going to know how to sell to parents. You're not going to know how to sell to someone in love. If you're getting with a different chick every night, you're not going to know how to speak to a guy that's in love with his wife or his spouse or his girlfriend or planning on buying an engagement ring. You just don't have that connection. So again, the more involved you are, the more the customer avatar or the niche you're in represents you, the easier it is to sell this product and all of your products, right? And then the more you niche down, again, I'm going to stress this throughout this video, the more likelihood of them returning to your store to buy again, which increases the lifetime value. All right, we'll break that down at the end of the video, why lifetime value is so important when it comes to customer acquisition. But again, like, look at this website, right? Pregnancy milestone, tattoos, they're all within this niche. You're getting married. It's up for people who are getting married, engaged, or having babies. The entire relationship status, from engagement to married to children, it is all here, right? We're one-stop shop for all things relationship and children. and parenting and everything else, right? So again, check out this website. It is amazing. Here's another one I'll pull up as well. Go fast, don't die. What do you think this brand is for? Who do you think this is for? Motorcycle, right? This is clearly a website for motorcyclists, right? For guys who ride on the weekends, they ride on the weekdays, they love their motorcycle, they love being on two wheels, raising heck since we learned how to cuss. And that's just the beginning, the first part of who we are and what we're about. We're here to contribute to the culture and community that inspired our existence. Again, inspired our existence. I don't know lingo, right? Like these guys clearly do. So let's check out some of their apparel. And let's just sort by bestsellers. Go fast, don't die. I mean, that probably resonates with someone who's riding a motorcycle and how dangerous it is. You want to go fast, you want to get adrenaline rushes, you want to get dopamine hits, but you don't want to die, right? That's not the goal here. So go fast, don't die. Great message. Clocks tick and start living. Again, they're living on this motto of going fast and not dying. The clock is ticking on everyone's life. You never know when your time is going to come. So start living, right? Went fast, didn't die. Again, safety second. Here we go. What's this one say? No one gets out alive. Again, this is all about living your best life while you have time on this planet to do so and doing things that you love doing. This crew is all about motorcycles and the lifestyle behind motorcycles. Go fast, don't die. I can't say enough how much this brand does a great job. Let's see if they got a little about me section here. Oh yeah, okay. So instead of saying be safe, wear your helmet like your mom would say, our mom said go fast, don't die. Boom, right? Go fast, don't die is for the crowd that pulls a little more from the throttle after the assessment of risk says back it off. Again, you know what I'm saying? Like these people clearly know this niche. They're very into it. They live this lifestyle. All right, next up in level of importance from niche is your brand and your branding, okay? Branding is extremely important. What I just walked you through on these 4 examples here is the actual branding. Again, when you come to this page, I want you to imagine yourself, you go to Las Vegas and you're on the strip and you're trying to figure out which nightclub to go into. Okay, let's just imagine that in your head real quick. This bar is playing country, that bar is playing 90s music, this bar is playing techno, this one's playing EDM, and this one's doing 80s throwbacks. Now, depending on who you are as a person and what your interests and your likes are music-wise, is generally, what's going to pull you in that direction of whatever offerings they have music-wise, right? Another example would be the lines out front of the club, okay? So if this one has a line of people that are going to, like, let's say do a country bar to do some line dancing. This one's got some hip-hop. This one's got, let's say, some techno guys going in there with all the rave gear on, all the colors. Like the crowds that form out front of these nightclubs will bring more people that look just like them into that line to come into the club, right? Clubs, I've come from the club scene. Clubs hold lines on purpose. It's dead inside when they first open, but they hold that line for 45 minutes to help. Nothing grows a crowd like a crowd, okay? So when you form a line out front of your club based on your music, the people, what they look like, are they dressed up nicely? Are they wearing sandals and flip-flops? Are they wearing board shorts? Is it a beach bar? Is it a fine dining? Is it whatever it might be, right? That is what your branding does, okay, for your homepage. So when I come here, I want to see people that look like me, that talk like me, that I feel like I'm home when I come here, right? So Wicked Clothes, again, you see that on their page. This is all branding. I know we kind of breezed through this earlier, but this is all branding, okay? Aspen & Co., again, for husband and wife, for parents, for children. Motorcyclists. This is all the branding elements. Now, Go Fast Don't Die takes it to the next level when they talk about branding. Like this website, this top banner right here, they kind of rip and tear. This little saddlebag is their shopping cart. Everything here is custom, right? This is all just like phenomenal branding. So again, branding is extremely important. To show you an example of bad branding, let's go to endangered animals. All right, so endangeredanimals.co, shop women's clothing. We got some pictures here. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this. I don't see any lifestyle photos. I see some stock images of endangered species. I see immediately there's no one real wearing these t-shirts. The mock-ups they're using have, it's the same person, right? It's literally the same exact thing. This is clearly not a real product. This is like obviously either Photoshop or placeit.net or some other mock-up generating website, right? It could be, stock stuff from Printful or Printify. Lead by example here, or follow these examples. House of Chingasos, Wicked Clothes, Aspen & Co., Go Fast, Don't Die. Check these out. So whatever brand you're going to be in, you want to see that here, if that makes sense, right? You want to show, this is about endangered species, but maybe if there was someone on a safari to save someone, or maybe they were saving someone from poachers, that's what really builds a brand, is like showing people that look like you, that feel like you, that have the same ideology, that have the same passion behind saving endangered species. You want to see that. You don't want to see this, right? This is a terrible website. About Us. Let's see what kind of branding they have here. All right, this is better than the last time I checked it. But again, like this, not, it's not good. I love the logo. That's nice. But the offerings here, not going to fly. Women's clothing. This is a funny one. I come in here and I see, they changed it. He must have saw my last video. But they had like, here we go. Women's t-shirts. And these are male mock-ups. Is this good branding? Is this what you want to see when a model's wearing a t-shirt that's clearly fake because it's the same exact pose and face and arms and everything else is identical in these photos? Is that what you want to see? Or do you want to see something like this? Real people wearing real products, right? This all comes down to branding. Okay, so this is a quick one, but branding is extremely, extremely important. Third is designs, okay? Designs are extremely, extremely important. I don't care how much someone resonates with your branding and your niche. If your designs aren't something I want to wear and represent daily, I'm not going to buy your product. And this is where so many people get it wrong. I don't want you to look like this, okay? These are literally stock images put on a t-shirt with mock-ups. There's no messaging behind it. It doesn't trigger any emotion whatsoever, right? Like this is just absolute trash. And this is what 99% of people that get into print on demand model their stores after. This is absolutely the wrong way to do things, okay? Now, I don't mean to bash this guy, and if you are watching this video, you seem like a nice dude and you're doing this for a reasonable cause, but you need to have passion-driven designs, okay? So again, this is a great example of passion-driven designs, okay? I love motorcycles, like Go Fast, Don't Die. The messaging behind that is extremely powerful, right? When Fast, Didn't Die. This triggers an emotion about doing what you love to do to a level of extremes where you're not going to die. Aspen & Co. You want to, the Top Gun reference because the movie came out, right? Mama, you're a mama. When you become a father, I can't even explain the feeling that I got. I was extremely stoked. Like I wear a t-shirt to say girl dad on with my daughter. Like I cannot explain what it is to be a dad now. Okay. So if you're a motorcycle rider, you don't have that other feeling yet, and that's your true passion, you're going to gravitate towards designs that make you feel good. So these designs, they might be simple, they might be basic, but they trigger an emotion, right? Mama, girl dad, Biggie Smalls, they're funny, they're humorous. You can wear this to a brunch party. You can wear this to the first day of school. You can wear this to Disney, right? You can wear this on a trick-or-treating or a Halloween party where no one's wearing costumes. I don't know, it's weird. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, you want to trigger emotions with your designs, okay? So if you go into cats, obviously you're dark. You love, some dark humor here. I love this surviving purely out of spite. Like if you're the gothic emo personality, like these are the messages that resonate with you and your audience. Satan loves you. There's some satanical stuff here, right? Hocus Pocus, adopt a cat and it's a possum, right? Like this is humor, but it also, again, it triggers some sort of an emotion with the audience, okay? And these designs very much fit the artistic style of the what you see with like band tees, maybe movie posters, horror themes, like the kind of designs and stuff this website makes clearly goes into their niche and they know what they like. Okay, same thing with House of Chingasos, right? El Jefe, right? El Jefe is grilling, like. Sure, some guy doesn't speak any Spanish, likes his grill, might wear this because of, George Jung and El Jefe and all that stuff from the movie Blow back in the day. But someone who's like really into the Day of the Dead, right? The culture is going to like this way more. So it's like a Halloween shirt for, Latinos or for Mexican Americans, whatever it might be. These definitely trigger emotions. So if you're the guy who doesn't wear a costume to your kid's Halloween party, you're probably going to wear this t-shirt, dead inside, right? Like, here I am and I'm dead inside. Pero first cafecito, right? Like, this is hilarious. Like, but first cafecito, all right? But first coffee. So they're taking like terms that we know, but first coffee, and they're making them in this niche. They're making them fit this niche, okay? Super, super, super important to have language in your designs that really trigger emotion. And you're going to notice that most of these designs that are companies that are doing very well, all doing over 6 figures a month, these brands have text with the photo or with the image. They're not just using stock images like this website, right? It's some plain thing. I could probably search for whatever butterfly fish, and this image will pop up on one of the free websites for stock photos. This doesn't trigger any emotion at all, right? Whereas these, if you're in these niches, they're going to trigger an emotion, and the sayings and expressions are funny. It pairs the text, right? The expression, the font, it all comes into the image itself. So when you're making designs, you want to mix a good graphic with some text overlays that trigger that emotion, that really hit on the passion points of the end user. All right, so that covers up designs. Now, the next most important thing, I hope this all is making sense so far. All right, number 4, we're going into ads. Okay, now this is a really heavy topic. I've spent upwards of, at my peak, I was doing about $1.5 to $2 million a month in ad spend. That was what I was managing at my own store. I wish. But ads are super, super, super important when it comes to scaling your store and getting some instant feedback. What I will say is that brands that can do this organically and build up to $5,000 to $10,000 a month on their own, like really doing the heavy lifting, getting in the Facebook groups, following the Instagram accounts, maybe starting an Instagram account, right? I started a National Parks Instagram account, grew up to 65, 70,000 followers, and started, trying to sell stuff through that. Again, if you're sharing content for this specific niche, they're gonna flock to the page. They're gonna follow your page, your TikTok, your Instagram, whatever it might be, because they want that humor. They want that, the Twitter one-liners, whatever it might be. It's way easier to scale your brand to $50,000 to $100,000 if you already build a core following to start with, right? But most people don't have that at their disposal. Most people want to go to ads directly. So as long as your niche is on point, it's a niche that people want to buy, that you have proof that people want to buy, there's a good product market fit. As long as you have branding well done on your website that makes someone come in and they're drawn to your store the same way a storefront or a bar plays music and a storefront has some items in the window. If you're doing these things properly, you get people to your store and they want to stay there. Then the third thing was design, right? So again, design needs to sell itself. If you have terrible designs, your ads are going to probably tell you that sooner than trying to build an organic following that's going to buy because they maybe like you and your message, but they don't really like the designs too much, but they want to support your cause. So ads are the quickest way to get things up and running. Building all of your page followers or Instagram followers, TikTok followers, building a connection with like-minded people or people in the same interests as you, the same niche as you, your avatars. Remember that? When it comes to ads, the best thing you can do starting out is, I would say, once you complete 12 designs. Now, I want you to test 12 designs every single month. If they're not selling using this strategy, your designs are trash. Point blank period. There's no nice way to say this. Your designs are trash. Do better. If you've been doing designs on your own in Canva, or maybe you're using some other third-party software and you're just not a designer, don't stress it. Save some money up. Go on Fiverr. Go on Upwork. Find a designer that has that look and feel you're going for and pay them to create t-shirt designs for you. There's tons of people out there that offer this service on Fiverr and Upwork. So I strongly suggest, if design is not your strong suit, don't even touch it. Outsource this with stuff that you like. I would suggest going to websites in similar niches, finding designs based on their best sellers, and then recreating them in your own way. Or like House of Chingazos did with the this cafecito, right? Like, they probably saw a website that was selling a shirt that said "But first coffee." It was a giant meme for a very long time. I still see it today. or don't talk to me until I have my coffee. These are all spins on things that we like that trigger an emotion. If you're a coffee addict, if you're a coffee morning person, putting this into the language of your buyer is going to sell some serious t-shirts and some serious merchandise. So I strongly suggest getting 12 designs put up in testing every single week. And when it comes to testing, what you're going to want to do first, I'll break this down in a future video, is you want to find an audience that you can sell into using interest-based. You're not going to have lookalike audiences to leverage yet, which isn't a big deal. Interests are still great. So, this could be Spanish-speaking English for this website, right? You could be targeting Spanish speakers. You could be targeting, Mexican food. You could be targeting Day of the Dead. You could be targeting piñatas. You could be targeting quinceañeras, right? Think about who they can target here. If you're into this wicked goth, you could be targeting death metal bands. You could be targeting alternative radio stations, alternative influencers. You could be targeting different brands that people wear. Maybe they shop at Hot Topic. You could target Hot Topic, right? Aspen and Company. Maybe you could target moms. Maybe you could target people that are in a relationship, people that are married, people that are interested in, let's say engagement parties or bachelor parties, or what's another one? Bridesmaid dresses, right? Like they're selling to people that are married, they're having kids, maybe they're due to have a kid, people that are interested in childbirth, all these different interests. Go fast, don't die. Again, target motorcycles, target motocross, target some other lifestyle brands, Harley Davidson, target Kawasaki, Yamaha. What kind of boots do they wear? What kind of helmets do they wear? What kind of gloves do they wear? What kind of music do they listen to? What's a big biker music, influencer out there, or Facebook page they can target and get some of that attraction, right? So, endangered species, again, even this brand, they could be targeting people that love animals. They could be targeting PETA. They could be targeting the World Wildlife Foundation, right? So what you want to do is do like a hybrid model. So I would suggest with your 12 designs, creating 3 carousels, 4 products in each carousel. And then what you're going to do is pick 8 to 10 ad sets, set them at $20 a day, and test these designs out against the other designs in a carousel first. Once you start seeing something pick up, or one of those carousel cars getting clicked on most, then you can get into a static or single image. But to start off, do a hybrid model, 1 ad set it for $20 a day, and then have 3 carousels created, 4 carousel cards in each showing 4 different products, and then let that kind of show you where the interest is starting to build up. I guarantee 1 or 2 designs out of the 12 will stand out, and then it's your job to really push those products onto the consumer and find more audiences, okay? So once you go from the hybrid model again, if Giorgio will put this over here, 1 ad set, 3 carousel ads, individual ads inside of that ad set, duplicate that out, I would say 8 to 10 times, and then go in and at each level, at each ad set has its own single interest targeting. Okay, so single interest targeting, 8 to 10 ad sets, 3 identical ads in each one of those ad sets, 3 totally different ads, carousels, 4 images or 4 products in each carousel. That'll get you through stage 1 of testing. $20 a day. Let that run for 3 days minimum. 3 days minimum. You're optimizing for purchase conversions here. Again, we're not looking for traffic. We're not looking for PPE. We're not looking for any of that nonsense. We're looking for sales right now. So as long as your website is built out, you have a niche, you have branding, you have designs, focus on getting high intent, likely to buy visitors to your website using purchase conversion campaigns. That's the only campaign you need to be testing at this stage. Find your winning. This will help you. Once you run this hybrid test for 3 days, you'll start to see, are all of my designs trash? Do I have 1 or 2 good picks? And then once you figure out which ad set, right, which interest-based ad set, targeting-wise, has the most clicks, has the highest click-through rate, has the lowest cost per click, things like that. Once you figure that out, what you're going to want to do is test, maybe 7 or 8 brand new ads, test carousels, images, videos for that one specific product, and then test each one of those new ads against that winning audience that you got from the hybrid test. Okay. So if you maintain this cycle and you're not selling anything, something else is wrong. All right. So, all right. Last but not least, your metrics. you have to know your metrics and you have to set benchmarks for yourself in business to know whether you're doing good or bad, okay? So really briefly going to cover that. You have your metrics on Facebook and Instagram or whatever ad platform you're using. That is usually your CPMs, your click-through rates, your cost per click, all right? So for a click-through rate, you're looking for a 1% or better, meaning out of every 100 people that see your ad, one person clicks on it. You can start getting up to 3 or 4%. If you're using that with a purchase conversion, you're seeing above a 1%, you're in good shape. Okay, the next metric to follow, most people would jump straight to conversion rate. Now that is a very important metric, but there's so many things that happen before that, okay? So if you want someone to inevitably purchase from your website, the first action they need to take to have a purchase is adding to their cart. So add to cart is the next metric you want to follow, and you want to maintain right about a 10% add to cart ratio. If you're at a 2% add to cart rate or a 3% add to cart rate, that's going to mean that you don't have enough trust on your website, the branding is off, or the designs just aren't good. But technically speaking, if they clicked on an ad showing a product, went straight to that product page and didn't add to cart, something is missing. You don't have an ads problem. You have a problem with the actual product page itself. So make sure you have a sizing chart, make sure you have reviews, make sure you have some lay flat photos mixed in with some lifestyle photos. You want to have your exchange return policy. You want to have, let's see here, overall reviews. I mentioned that already. You just want to have all these elements that really build trust and put them in multiple places. I cannot tell you how many times I see one return policy, one exchange policy, and it's super small, hidden underneath like a little drop down. These things need to be like present above the fold if possible. Above the fold meaning wherever they land on your website, everything they see right away is above the fold. They don't need to scroll anywhere. So if you can have an add to cart button and some great product photos there, highly suggest trying to move things up a little bit to make that add to cart button above the fold. Be very clear in your sizing if you're selling t-shirts. Sizing charts are great. If you're using models in your product photos, be sure to say this guy is 6 foot wearing a size large, or this girl is 4'7" wearing this size medium, whatever it might be. Help the customer out as much as possible. One of the cons of e-commerce, online e-commerce is, that is e-commerce, but one of the cons is that we don't have the in-store shopping experience. We can't try things on. So think about when you go into a department store, the kind of customer service and support that you get. You get to try things on. Maybe they're telling you about some styling. What can you wear this with? What do other people coming to the store to buy? Again, nothing draws a crowd like a crowd. People want to know what the best sellers are. They definitely gravitate towards best sellers because they don't want to be missing out. They want to be part of that in crowd. So make sure that you have these elements on your product page as much as possible with whatever you have now, and get the add to cart rate up to a 10%. Now, typically speaking, a 10% add to cart rate will lead to probably overall a 5% initiate checkout, meaning they clicked on the shopping cart and then continue to check out. And then from there, you'll drop off another 50% to about 2.5% conversion rate is usually what we're aiming for here. If you're beneath that, you could be sending some traffic, or you might have a big organic following of people that are just kind of cruising around, but they don't really want to buy anything. That's kind of low intent traffic, but you want to aim for a 2 to a 3% conversion rate from paid traffic. That's going to really give you the conversions needed to pay for your ads. So very important. Again, you want to look at your conversion rate, add to cart ratio, which leads to conversion rate. You want to look at your click-through rates on your ads. If you have a 1.5% or a 2% click-through rate and no add to carts, well, your problem is your product page, not your ads. In fact, your ads are probably performing phenomenally well, but you just don't have the product page that builds trust and authority to get them to buy. Okay, so that's when it comes into the branding and the niche and things like that. Now, when it comes to other metrics, let's just say it costs you $15 to sell a $30 t-shirt. So $15 of ad spend gets you a $30 purchase of a t-shirt. That's about a 2x ROAS, right? But what if I instead sold a $60 hoodie, right? And then CPA or cost per acquisition remain the same, cost per purchase, right? At $15. Now, just by changing the product that you're selling them in the ad itself, you just went from a 2x ROAS, unprofitable, maybe just below break even, to a 4x ROAS, right? So there's probably some profit in there. And the whole goal of this, right? The last thing I'll leave you with is the goal of print on demand. You're going to have extremely high COGS. You're going to have high shipping costs, high fulfillment costs. So the goal is to find your winning products using print on demand without holding any inventory at all. and then transferring that into an inventory model where you're going to order some inventory of the best sellers and you're going to fulfill those yourself. That will boost your margins by at least 80%. You're going to go from $18 shirts to $6 shirts, right? The same exact thing, screen printed, so it's better quality. Because that's the biggest thing about the quality of the shirt. If you're using print on demand long term, you're not going to have a high returning customer rate, because that person, after wearing that shirt for 6 months, it's their favorite t-shirt, and it's basically a blank t-shirt at that point because they've washed it so many times. You're not going to have a high returning customer rate. So again, the pro of the print on demand model is that you can get started right away with very little to no overhead at all when it comes to inventory. But as soon as you find that one winning SKU, or the hero SKU we call it, you want to move that into a screen printing model where it's higher quality, it's going to last longer, it's going to increase your lifetime value and your returning customer rate. Now, back to that. If you want to scale your store to $1 million, you need to rely on a returning customer rate of about a nice, healthy 30%. And you do that by constantly releasing, like I said before, 12 new designs monthly. Some can be seasonal, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, whatever. You really want to focus on making designs that are kind of attached to a holiday or a season that will bring people back, and they'll have some urgency to buy it, for instance, right? So I need a shirt for a Christmas party. Oh, look, my favorite brand has a Christmas t-shirt now. Boom, right? Maybe I have a bridal shower coming up, or baby shower, and we have to wear pink and blue for whatever the baby might be for the gender reveal party, right? I need a shirt for that event. Boom, they have that too. You see where I'm going with this? So increasing the lifetime value is really where you start to make your profits. On acquisition, your goal for every time someone buys something on your store for the first time, your goal is not to make profit on the first time purchase. Your goal is to get them back through email and SMS with very low acquisition costs, because you're paying monthly for the fees, for email and SMS. Get them to come back. Then you have no acquisition costs. So you're removing that $15 to $20 CPA or cost per purchase just by sending them an email or SMS. That's where you make your money, and you continue to make money off that customer by continually producing new products for that one specific niche. Again, don't go wide here. Don't start selling Halloween stuff and then selling stuff for like something not Halloween or soccer moms. That's not going to work. You want to stay in your lane when it comes to your designs and your niche. You want to put out attractive stuff that really hits on passion marks. This video is getting extremely long. My apologies. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this. I've done this many times. I have my own stores. I help other stores scale and figure out their business model using print on demand. I help stores get from a print on demand model into a production fulfillment pick and pack model as well. So if you fall in that category, if you're currently doing $10,000 to $20,000 a month, click the link below. I'll help you scale your store. If not, please use this information and really think about what I'm saying. Watch it a couple of times. Share with anyone you feel like this would help. But when it comes to this model, it's all about your niche, your branding, your designs, and your ads themselves. That's the quickest way to success with print on demand. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, my name is Opie. On this channel, we're going to help you scale your store. No matter what you're doing in e-commerce space or info, we can help you out using our strategies. Please hit like and subscribe if you got value out of this content. You know we're living in an algorithmic world, and I am an algorithmic girl, whatever that means. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.